Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to continue watching House of the Dragon. We are in season 2 and in episode 2 and I'm terrified and excited to watch the next one. If you're new here, hello, welcome in. My name is Cora. It is so lovely to have you here. I'm also a Twitch streamer and I create gaming content here on YouTube. If you want to check the gaming content out, you can click the link up here, and if you want to come and hang out live or check out any of my other social media, the link to that is down below in the description box. And if you're not new, welcome back. This season has been off to an interesting start. There has been so many things that has already happened, and I feel like wrapping up each episode is going to be pretty difficult because even if I try really hard, they're either going to be 58 minutes long or I'm gonna miss things. But the major thing and the worst thing that happened was the death of Helena's and Aegon's son. Now, Rhaenyra found out about Lucerys. As a mother who is grieving and all of this and a lot of emotions and anger for this war and everything, she demanded the head of Aemon. And Daemon took it upon himself to go and deal with this. Now, Daemon wasn't maybe super clear. He was very clear of like who he wanted to have killed. I feel like there's still a bit of a discussion whether Daemon was just unclear, whether he meant to kill whichever son. We don't actually know what he said. He did say a son for a son. That could have just been like a reason behind him wanting to kill Aemon, or like why they're gonna kill Aemon. It could have also meant that any son will do. It's hard to know with Daemon because he's a very impulsive person and he has a lot of strong emotions. I do not trust him, and it wouldn't surprise me if he was just like, it could have just been in the moment as well, like, I don't care, just kill someone, I just want to see blood, and he could have regretted it afterwards, or he could have meant it, not regretted it, or he could have just been not very clear and made a mistake and this happened and that's on him. It's a little bit hard to know, but in the end what happened is that Daemon was part of Aemon not dying, and I think he's called Jaehaerys, the kid who died, and it was brutal and horrifying. Helaena had to watch this. She was part of like pointing at her son because they put her in that position, the rat catcher and the other guy, and it was just a horrific scene. It was even worse because, well, not worse, but it was a little bit extra scary because Helaena had earlier in the episode said that she was afraid of like rat catchers, or she was like the rat. She was like, I'm scared of the rats, not the rat catchers maybe, but I'm scared of the rats, and there's something with the rats. And she says a lot of things that I don't think anyone really understands, us, or at least me included. But I believe that this was in reference to what happened. So she was probably foresaw something to do with rats and knew it was not a good thing. And then this happened, which was horrific. Helaena and Alicent then had to go behind their grandchild and child in a wagon to patrol the streets in order to paint Rhaenyra as a child slayer, which is horrific because I'm not saying any characters in this show is perfect, and yeah, Rhaenyra still sought out to kill Aemon, who I guess technically isn't a child, but it's still kind of horrible that she wanted to kill him, and I don't agree with the eye for an eye. I don't agree with the son for a son thing. She did start this, but she did not intend to harm a child, and she did not intend to harm Helena's children as well, because she said like Helaena is innocent in all of this. I would never do that, but now the whole realm, thanks to Otto, thinks that that's what happened. Aegon is obviously, he goes in and smashes the whole thing that Viserys was building of old Valyria in just a fit of emotions and sadness and rage. And it's sad because it feels like that is the only way for him to get his feelings out. Like, the family that they're in, they're not really a family that speaks to each other, and you can see that in so many ways. I don't think that Alicent really trusts anyone. Not her father, not Cole fully, maybe a little bit more. Aegon doesn't feel like he can talk to anyone, and Aemon chose to talk to an outsider woman about everything that happened instead because he clearly also doesn't feel like he can talk to his family. huge problem. They've really got some issues in that family, and I feel bad for them. I honestly do. They have not had, they all have very specific personalities, and I feel like none of the children of that family got what they needed. I also didn't know there was a fourth sibling, but apparently there is, and maybe we'll see them this time. That is going to be interesting though, because I thought that there was just the three of them, and apparently there's a fourth son. Rhaenyra finds out later in that episode that Daemon has done what he has done, and obviously gets furious. Rhaenys, I think, is the one that first kind of suspects that it might have been Daemon, and then Rhaenyra and Daemon has this huge fight where she accuses him on what he has done. He does not like admit to it. He denies it. He says something about it being a mistake. And Rhaenyra talks about her not being able to trust him, as well as like no one else being able to trust him, and that she doesn't believe that he sees her as the rightful ruler, that he sees himself partially as a ruler, and that he doesn't respect her in that capacity. And they have this huge argument, and Daemon is like, I'm trying to raise an army for you here, can't you see that? And it ends up like them parting ways. We don't know exactly where Daemon is going for sure, but I guess that we will find out exactly where he is going in this episode. And after he is left, Rhaenyra chooses to speak to Mysaria, the White Worm, which I thought was really cool. They have an interesting conversation, and she decides to honor the promise that Daemon made, that for the information, she should go free. So Rhaenyra sets Mysaria free, and I like that for many reasons. I think it was the right thing to do, and sure, stuff could happen if she lets her free, but I think that like putting Mysaria on her bad side by capturing her is just gonna turn even worse against her. So I think it was a good call, but that is also what leads to Mysaria realizing that the twin is coming back to the island. So she had just left one brother, goes down, and the brother is there again, and she remembers seeing them, so she knows that they're twins. And that leads to her alerting them that he is in there, and it ends up actually, in a sense, obviously it was the brother who saved her life before like coming to rescue her. But if Mysaria wouldn't have said anything, Rhaenyra most likely would have been dead without that warning. So she played a big part in this, and the fact that they have now, Aegon have now actively sent an assassin to her is not gonna bode well, which makes sense. Aegon and Cole actually plotted this, and Aegon also decided to hang all the rat killers publicly in town, which Otto was not too pleased about. Not that he did it, and also not that he didn't discuss it with him, because he's the Hand of the King. Or rather, he was the Hand of the King, because then Otto started shouting at the king, not respecting the fact that he's a king, because he is also his grandson. He's his grandsire, and he was just shouting at him, which led Aegon to remove him as Hand of the King and give it to Cole. So Cole now has an even bigger position in all of this. Cole is someone who annoys me till the end of days. He is such a hypocrite, I feel like, and I understand that Rhaenyra hurt him, but it feels like he is hating her for telling him no. Just because she doesn't want to run away with him doesn't mean that she was like playing with him necessarily. And I think that their relationship, they saw it in maybe different ways. I don't know, like he hates Rhaenyra. He will do anything to crush her, and now he's going against all of his own oaths, and he's sleeping with Alicent, and he's talking shit about Rhaenyra all the time. And I'm a little bit concerned what would happen if Alicent said no to him. And now he's the Hand of the King, Aegon trusts him, and I'm terrified. I also don't know how Aemond is gonna react to the fact that Cole is now the Hand of the King. I don't know if he cares or not, but there's a lot of question marks, and I'm really scared and excited to watch the next episode. So even though that probably wasn't the best wrap up, I have so many questions, and there are so many things that are just starting to move, and it is gonna be exciting to see how they all play out. And also just how the characters grows in this season. Like I am leaning more towards Team Black, but it doesn't mean that I'm fully on one side, and it is gonna be interesting to see how the characters evolve, because they all have done things that terrifies me, and there are things that makes me think that none of them are a good fit for being the ruler of the entire world, but I don't know, it's fun to also have an open mind and not, because like there are things that some of the characters have done that I cannot let go of, but I still want to see them grow, and I think having an open mind makes it more interesting, so I will continue to have that in mind. I'm curious to see if some of the mistakes and bad stuff that the characters have done is gonna come back and bite them, especially if they do change into something better, but the only way to find out is to watch the series, so without further ado, let's get into episode 3.
Put the boundary stones back. We didn't move them.
Who? These are two sons of two different lords, huh?
It's Brackenland, Babe Killer. What did you say?
Babe Killer, what?
Your false Queen Rhaenyra is a kinslayer.
Ooh.
Your uncle declared for Aegon, did he?
So they're on different sides, gosh.
Well then, Aegon Targaryen is no true king, just as you are no true.
Oh, it's cool seeing people fighting about this and like outside the intimate circle of the family.
You wouldn't dare.
Uh-oh. Oh, flip. Did this start a full-blown war between two families due to the war between the two royal families? Holy. This is massive. Oh, heck. I mean, I guess them potentially moving the stones was part of it, but this seems to have been what unleashed it.
He sullies the grave of his brother.
Oh, I feel bad for the two brothers. That was a really horrific scene and very emotional. It's nice that they at least buried.
Hotter blood has prevailed, I think. The young men have taken the bit in their teeth they wish to punish, to avenge.
She's smart. It was not Otto's idea.
Soon they will not even remember what it was that began the war in the first place.
That is easy enough. They usurped my throne.
That is one answer.
There is so much conflict. Finding out what is the turning point will never help them, will it? All of the stuff that's happened is bad.
There may be another way. Alicent Hightower.
When last we met, Alicent said I would make a fine queen.
She came to me in the hours after your Lord Father's death. She knows war is coming.
Yeah.
There is no war so hateful to the gods as a war between kin.
I think she's right. I think the only person
Bloody as a war between dragons.
that
I do
too.
not believe she wants it.
She sent a raven.
I also don't think she wants it.
I do not care to read her message.
I get that, but
Men around her who seek bloodshed.
She permitted it.
I'm not the biggest fan of
As
Alicent,
you
but
permitted the murder of a little boy in his bed.
they are both entwined in situations that are not of their own making.
Alicent is in King's Landing. Her son sits my throne.
But she
There
might
is
be
nothing
your
more to be
only.
said.
I think that Rhaenys is right. I think the only chance for them to avoid as much bloodshed as possible is if actually Rhaenyra and Alicent sits down and decide something without any stupid men around. I'm so sorry, but like in this case, that is the only thing that might work. I wonder if they could even get to that though. Even with the baggage, it's gonna be difficult, but it might work. Oh my god, the flags. They're green, but with they're new, right? Green with the dragon symbol, the Targaryen symbol. Or have I just not noticed them before? Oh? Why were they so slow up? Do they laugh at him for becoming the hand or something?
Tidings and
Oh, does she know? He still wears the full armor though.
My lord.
Oh, they must know. Okay, good. I was like, that would be a shock.
Forgive my lateness.
Important business, no doubt.
You've appointed new knights to replace those we lost. The last one needlessly, some might say. The great duty of ending Rhaenyra's challenge, he failed to discharge it.
He failed because the scheme was rash.
Perhaps, your grace, but we cannot all hide in our castles waiting for war to come.
Yeah,
Lord Samuel Blackwood himself is slain. Good. First blood in our name.
that's a way of seeing it. It could still be the start of a true war,
I
right?
call it war.
Is he playing with a knife all the time?
What are we going to do about it?
He's like, I don't know.
Alas, they are months away. My lord brother Jason is raising a great army at Castle Rock.
He really wants the Lannisters to be a part of this.
Military mind of the Citadel. Do remind me which link in your chain denotes the art of war.
This council must rediscover the discipline it lately had if it's to be of any use.
Yeah.
Harrenhal is the key to the Riverlands. I will ride out with those I can muster here, men I know. I will turn the crown land houses who declared for Rhaenyra to our cause.
But that would mean that he can't be here and be the hand, right? Wait, Harrenhal, wasn't that where Daemon was going?
And you'll take Aemond and Vhagar.
Vhagar will remain
He's happy about that, is he?
to defend the city.
Good. To war, then.
That's such a weird
I'll
face, I don't
come
know.
to you,
Aegon.
Your Grace.
That is precisely why you must remain, brother. It's a brave thought.
Ooh.
Cannot risk your loss.
I'm as fearsome as any of them.
It's not good if Aegon goes, but it's hard to argue with the king. It does feel like Aegon wants his brother to be a part of this. It feels like he wants him to be by his side, kind of. Like he really trusts Aemond and wants Aemond to be part of it.
I was not believed at first.
You saved my life.
As I would think, you would wish to reward me.
So she is still there, that's interesting.
A place at your court.
See, I like that. There's a lot to ask for, but I like it.
And you let me go. You showed me grace when you could have withheld it.
See, I told you that would give her something.
Surprise.
Good.
One turn for another, then.
I know the workings of the Red Keep. That is worth more than gold to you now. I would punish the High Towers for what they have done. I know the struggles of the small folk of King's Landing, and only one of you has shown yourself to be merciful.
I like her way of thinking. I actually feel like they could be a good team.
Sea Smoke, my late Lord husband's dragon, has grown restless of late.
Maybe he's lonely.
Maybe. I wonder if she's gonna let her be a part of the court. I think so, right? She could really use someone like her.
Lady Jane Arryn. She has pledged an army in return for a dragon. Aegon and Viserys will
Recognize that
accompany him until a place of greater safety. I
Cloud.
want you to go with them. We must take the little ones further. To Pentos, I think.
When my mother died.
It is safer than anywhere in Westeros.
She trying to save all of them?
I'm sorry to put this upon you. It breaks my heart to send my boys away. But you have seen what may befall them here. I need you to be the mother to them that I cannot.
That is a lot to ask her, but it also shows she trusts them.
I need Baela here. Because she has a dragon. I cannot promise to make you happy. But I ask you, make this sacrifice willingly. For all of us.
Bad for her. It's a huge sacrifice, but I also understand it. It's a sacrifice for her as well. She trusts her and she trusts her to take care of them. So I understand that she wants them to get out of this because there's inevitably going to be a war and she doesn't want to lose all of her children. And considering what has happened, the risk of her losing children is heightened, not just because of the war, but because of Jaehaerys dying or being killed, rather. We're starting to see a few things happening. We got Mysaria being part of this a little bit more now, and we're also seeing Rhaenyra splitting her family to make sure that they're okay, or try to make sure they're okay. Does this mean Daemon actually did go to Harrenhal and he went here first? I'm so curious to see what Daemon is gonna do. If he is going to do what he promised to try to win Rhaenyra back or not. That's not where he is it? Yeah, I'm wrong. Maybe he's not in Harrenhal. This looks way too empty. Why do I feel like there's gonna be a jump scare like any second? Why is this place so empty? Where is he? What is he doing here? Why is there no one here? I heard someone call Dragon, but something feels so wrong. What if he went to one of the places where there was a war? Well, someone is clearly there, but who? Oh god, okay, he just, wow. So there is people here, they're just hiding?
I'm claiming Harrenhal.
It was Harrenhal, okay. Why was it so empty though?
Apparently so.
I love that answer. Apparently so. Smart, probably, yeah.
The strong Castellan of Harrenhal pledge fealty to Rhaenyra of House Targaryen, first of her name. I swear this by the old gods and the new. Supper is venison with black cabbage and peas.
It's like he's surprised that it was this easy. He just had to turn up and they're like, yep, we all plead. I wonder if they were waiting to plead to see whoever turned out the first. Not a lot of people here though. And the whole place seems to be sort of broken.
Survived many a battle, I do not mean to be felled by poison.
I'll admit that my cook's peas aren't exactly the stuff of legend, but poison?
Way to kill a dragon rider.
Oh. He thinks, okay. Well, that would make sense.
You are welcome here. Larys Clubfoot is no lord of mine. Do you not think it's strange that his father perished by fire here in this damp place?
Maybe a reason for that?
My prince.
Your Grace.
Forgive me, I'd only assumed that as consort...
And we are reminded of the perilousness of assumption.
What is he trying to tell him? Well, I guess technically as king consort, you would still be your grace.
Harrenhal is the largest castle in the Seven Kingdoms.
But it is also, not to be argumentative, in something of a state of disrepair.
This is precisely why we must bring it into a state of repair.
Might be a good thing.
My prince. Your grace. To what possible end?
My grace.
You should know that a substantial number of those swords have now declared and are presently at war.
Oh yeah. That he didn't know this, right?
The answer to that is lost in time. Sin begets sin.
It's interesting that the reason for them starting a war, it's been so long coming that no one can really know exactly why. And it's starting to become the same thing with the big war between the family. No longer speak.
Nor seal his bowels. Begging your pardon for the impression. His grip on his bannerman is weak.
I will speak with him nonetheless. People should obey their liege lord.
They should, but doesn't mean they do.
Perhaps the presence of the crown and a
The
dragon.
presence of the crown makes it sound like he's king, though. It might not have been what he meant, but it makes me question it.
What then?
We march on King's Landing and take the throne.
The throne?
It's like, excuse me?
It's a big chair made of swords.
In case you didn't know. Just the most famous chair in the whole realm. And they're marching that way too now. The only thing is that they now declared for Daemon, but it's only Daemon there, there's no one else. Did he cut his hair? Interesting choice of haircut. Who is this?
May I present my brother, Sir Gawain Hightower?
Her brother!
Mayhaps I should say. My Lord Hand.
Is even he mocking him a little bit?
How exhilarating to arrive at court, to find my Lord Father serve 3 kings faithfully, unseated as Hand of the King. And by a man from such modest beginnings.
Wow, okay. Nice introduction.
Sir Gawain has volunteered to accompany you into battle.
I am so curious to find out how her brother is. Seems like an interesting character.
Sister.
What kind of relationship do they have to each other? Because she grew up at court and he didn't, right? I wonder how much they actually grew up together.
And request that she grant her favour, that her Lord Commander may go into battle with her blessing in his heart.
Feel the hand now, though. Is he both?
Your Grace.
She is looking at him like she's furious that he did that. Her brother saw that. Oh, he totally knows something. Oh gosh, okay. See, as soon as someone is pushing him away a little bit, and like I can half understand it, he makes me scared, you know? It's like he thinks that he deserves to have them, and only, like in a way that is kind of weird. I don't know. Oh. Oh. Oh gosh, the music. How the heck is Daemon supposed to defend against this?
No men, no horses, no ships, no dragons.
Then we must seize the hour and act before our enemy does. How fares Prince Daemon with our army?
Yeah.
Dragons. Send them all out and burn those who resist.
No. If dragons begin fighting dragons,
Yeah.
we invite our own destruction.
They do.
Fear of it is in itself a weapon. The Greens will make the same calculation.
Why is he laughing at her?
We will secure victory with armies, not with dragons alone.
It's probably the better solution.
We must give Daemon time.
She's still hoping that he's going to take Harrenhal and then army.
You have never been so exposed.
Perhaps it is time for you to think about secreting yourself somewhere safe.
I know she's the future of the realm, but is it more because she's a woman?
Propose to conduct the war in my absence.
It would merely be a precaution.
It would be treason.
Yeah, you have to remember she's supposed to sit on the throne. Oh gosh. They are being really... I don't know, they could have been something meant, but...
The Queen wears the crown of my grandsire, Jaehaerys the Conciliator, a prudent ruler, wisest of Targaryen kings whose reign outlasted every other, even Aegon the Conqueror's.
Ooh, that sent shivers down my spine. I think that they sometimes get obsessed with her being a woman. And sure, she was almost assassinated, but I do also think that they don't agree with her because she has a different approach to war than they do.
But I fear she'll need you by her side sooner than late.
I'm glad that she has them by her side. She's going to need it. Rhaena, going to have to go for.
I wish her well. I would fight 100 battles before I went into exile with none but prattling babes.
It's not easy.
Your heir.
Joffrey, a boy of 6 who knows nothing of the sea, and yet somehow...
The others also knew nothing of the sea, though.
Rhaena were named heir to Driftmark.
She wants that.
Rhaena, Lord of the Tides.
There is Rhaena or there is Joffrey.
Yeah.
We are at war, Corlys.
It is well that I am a good sailor.
Things could still happen, though. I get Rhaenys here, wanting to make sure that everything is planned for, and if the worst happens. So sad. I guess leaving like her entire family behind is not going to be easy. She's being very brave to do this though. Like, what a responsibility.
I cannot spare a fighting dragon, but I send what I can. Stormcloud and Tyraxes are small, but they will grow.
She's also trusting Rhaena with her children, so huge.
I will be safe enough. Far away from any danger with only babes to nursemaid.
You do a great service.
Do not coddle me, Baela. Grant me at least that dignity.
I meant no insult. We each do what we
Oh,
can.
is that what she feels? That she's being coddled away?
These eggs are even more fragile.
4 eggs. She's gonna bring 4 eggs, children, and baby dragons with her? Holy heck. I would be terrified. She's truly not being coddled away though. She's being like given the biggest responsibility of them all. Holy heck. I would be so scared. It must be so hard for Rhaenyra saying goodbye to her children, not knowing if she technically will ever see them again. Must be hard for him too. I feel bad for them having to be separate again. They were for quite a while, right? By Court and Driftmark, and now they're separate again. I think she's gonna do a good job though.
I feel sad about Jaehaerys.
What do you do?
But I ought not to, I think. People die all the time, especially babes. They're so little, they're taken so easily.
Of course you're allowed to feel sad.
Condition of motherhood. There's not to be gained from it.
Really
That
trying
whole
to-
procession where the small folk all stared at me. I warrant they thought I had no more right to grief than they do. Surely they lose their babes more than highborn ladies.
What a...
The stranger comes for us all. Queen and commoner. You have as much claim to grief as anyone.
I do agree on that. Everyone is allowed to feel grief.
I love Jaehaerys, but my concern has been more for you and what you have endured. Helena,
I forgive you.
What?
She's got so good price.
I said that I forgive you.
How can you not love Helena? She is so kind. Oh, my heart. You could see how much that touched Alicent as well, that her daughter said that to her.
Only that I think it would benefit all of us to prevent our king from being brutally slain by our enemies and his body parts scattered to beasts and his court come to ruin.
He really just said that and walked in. Okay.
What exquisite armor.
Interesting.
I was given the Conqueror's name and his crown, so I shall wear his armor to war.
He's like, I know you all are my friends, but maybe now it's time to leave.
There are diverse rumors whispered on the streets of your city. Another is that his grace was outwitted by his counselors and persuaded to fly to war. So the Queen Alicent may reign in his absence, with Prince Aemond at her side.
Oh? Is that true, or is he just saying this? You never know with him.
Who spreads these lies?
Matters little.
Why does he want him to stay though? He wouldn't have told him this if he didn't want him to stay. I mean, there could be truth to this. It could be a lie, but he would never go in and tell him if he didn't actually want him to stay for a reason.
My father always said he had no use for a master of whisperers, and yet I find myself wanting for one. I should be glad of your talents.
Maybe this is what he wanted to gain. Simple as that. He does want to have influence in court and he wants to be a part of the ruling group.
Escort you to the dragon pit, Your Grace.
They know.
I think mayhaps I shall fly another day.
Yeah, it does seem wise on reflection.
You could come out with us, my king.
Huh.
He's never fucked a woman.
You're sworn to chastity now.
Wait, huh? Oh, no, now I get it. Never mind. I thought they were suggesting that he sleep with him.
Yes, Your Grace.
Oh my god, he's making them so uncomfortable. Wow, what he said really took to his mind. Is that gonna mean that Aegon is gonna turn against Alicent now because he's scared that Alicent is gonna steal his throne or something? Or maybe he's gonna turn more on Aemond. Gosh, that family really needs to learn how to communicate because it's not gonna end well, is it? Ulf. And Ulf. I have no idea what's going on right now.
One for yourself, there's a good girl, eh?
Wait, she was working at the court before, wasn't she? She was the one that Aegon was, oh my god.
Oh, it said even Dawn mourned the passing of my grandson.
They call him the Conciliator.
Jaehaerys.
His, huh? Is he,
You're a Targaryen.
he is saying that for sure. Is it true though?
I'm the son of Balon the Brave,
Bastard brother to Prince Daemon.
and the late King Viserys, uncle to the one true queen,
Okay.
Rhaenyra Targaryen.
So he's cheering on Rhaenyra. Okay, this got
Did not
really
look very
interesting.
much like King Viserys or Prince
Well,
Daemon.
does not.
How do you know what they look like?
He speaks truth right enough. Look, you can tell by his hair.
I'll tell you who else doesn't have silver hair. The rightful heir to the Iron Throne, my nephew, Prince Jaehaerys Velaryon.
Oh, goodness. Yes, you are the nephew. Oh, I did not see that coming. Did he hear what just happened? Or it just...
The pleasure of the crown!
Is this a coincidence? Wait, is the king actually going out partying? Drinks on the crown. What the heck? And here he was talking about that and then this happened. Okay, this took an interesting turn. I'm not surprised that he's out, but like the coincidence of this happening at the same time as wow. Oh yeah, there was a new night. That's why they're out, right? Taking him out.
I know, just a teaser for you, my boy.
He's just opening it up stuff of everyone.
Something like that.
Oh my.
Aemon,
He found Aemon.
you have come.
And he's laughing at him.
And yet you still lie with your very first.
Oh my god. I'm so scared.
See, I do not exaggerate. Such is the madam's prowess that even now my brother will not sample another.
I don't know how to read his face at the moment. And he's just laughing. Oh my god, I don't know what to... Oh, he just stood up and walked out. I guess he didn't want to like get pushed around, so he just thought, you know, I'll just leave. But I don't know, I feel like that might have some bad after effects. The fact that Aegon was just showing his friends, laughing about it, and that was Aemon's one like safe spot. It's ridiculous that it has to be, but it's true. She was the one safe spot for him. It was the only one that he could talk to, and now I'm scared that Aegon has ruined that, and I don't know what Aemon is gonna do then. Dang, I do feel bad for him there actually. It was rude of him to laugh at him. Rhaenyra must feel so lonely now. It's the letter from Alicent, isn't it? I just got goosebumps for her reading that. I know a lot of people don't like Alicent, but I don't believe she wants war. She would rather come to a solution so they can all live.
Which is why we make for the Bull Tavern with an excellent reputation on the Rosby Road.
We march to make the first strike in the name of His Grace.
I assure you, my nephew will not begrudge me a night of company.
He is very cocky. Interesting. Is he trying to like take over?
We're exposed.
What? Cole?
Get to the trees!
Oh. Oh gosh. She's just patrolling though, right? That is a beautiful dragon. Look at that green collar. She sees them. Oh my god, what is she gonna do? Oh, I'm so scared. I'm so scared. I don't want anything to happen to her. How could they forget that they're dragons? Why did they not ride through the forest? Oh, she's so cool. Look at her go. Why are they riding so close to each other? You're not making it easier, are you? She's gonna change them in, that's it. Or was she trying to actually get them? And now there's a huge forest. Well, at least they know where they are. And I think from this information, they could know where they're going. I'm so scared knowing there's a dragon over my head. Gosh, it'd be almost impossible to find them, right? He is truly scared. I wonder what this is gonna do to both sides. The fact that they were chased by a dragon and nothing happened.
A good showing, Sir Kristen.
Is he just shaking his head?
I'm in your debt.
They know we're abroad, they'll be hunting. We must move under the trees and by cover of dark starting tonight.
And no fucking inns.
He's so angry.
With some half-dozen other knights, I'm sure of it. Perhaps a scout party for a greater army.
This is good information for them.
It was not such a great height, Your Grace.
Yeah, she was kind of close.
Engage, so I didn't. Exactly.
She just changed them a little bit.
The time for action is surely now.
Your Grace, I must agree.
They are starting to run out of options.
Loose the dragon's root coal out and burn him.
Oh, she's looking for Rhaenys for help.
I have heard your arguments and will consider them.
He needs a little bit of time. That's good. She looks so proud. I feel like she should be the hand of the queen. Rhaenys should be the hand of the queen. She's the only one who's close enough to actually understand things. And I think she's pretty level-headed and she's very intelligent too. Ooh, things are starting to heat up, huh? Not here though. That looks cold and wet and not nice. He doesn't look happy about it either. Oh, he really doesn't want anyone to enter, huh? Oh, they're gonna be gone, aren't they? They were like trying to push the door so hard. It's like obviously he noticed someone being there. Is it the woman that we saw earlier in the dining room? Whoever that may be? Or not?
Always coming and going, aren't you? And I have to clean up after.
What? What? What the? Is he how is he why is he seeing this? What is happening to Daemon? Is it the old gods trying to show him something? Oh god, maybe it is her. Is she trying to show him something? Oh gosh, the way he reacted to that though. The way he reacted makes me think that he regretted. At least regretted it happening. Whether it was meant or not. Who is she? Why did she say that? What do you mean he's gonna die in this place? I am so nervous, what the heck? That scene was brutal! I have no idea how she managed to act that scene out.
What do you know of the movements of Alicent Hightower?
Would you take her hostage?
Would you take her hostage?
I would speak with her myself.
Killing her would be easier.
If war can be averted, it is my duty to avert it. I have reason to believe she may be of the same opinion.
I think she is.
There are fishing boats aplenty.
But if I'm recognized...
Most folk pay no mind to a woman who has not dressed as a queen or lured herself with the eyes of men.
I would love to see them have a conversation.
Ring the bell.
Hello, I'm here.
There is one place Alicent goes, outside the castle walls, where you may yet find her alone.
Please tell me we're gonna get to see this in this episode, because I am so curious to see this. I have been longing for them to have a conversation. It could still go really badly, but I think this is a really, really good shot. I just wonder what they're gonna say to each other with so much happening. It's very smart. Oh gosh, oh this is I'm so scared. Yeah, probably be very few who could recognize her. Someone still could die. Meet the wrong person and they could still know. It has to be an attentive person, however, and someone who truly know what she looks like. See, Mysaria is already so much help. I really like her as a character. It must be weird seeing King's Landing from this perspective. I don't know if, like, I know she's been out before, obviously, but this is different to that, right? Oh, I feel like I'm so nervous. Stuff could go so wrong here. What if someone here recognizes her? Oh my god, and this is where they were when they were children as well. It makes it so... It makes it's like such a special place for... Especially for Alicent, but I think for both of them. They had such a huge like bonding experience here. This is... It's making it a lot more interesting. Oh, and they all leave her alone as well, so... She's like, excuse me, I'm trying to be alone here.
No, no. I must speak with
you. Did she pull the knife though?
I could cry out. Your knights would find me. I would be taken or slain. But not before I killed you.
That wasn't maybe the smoothest way of doing this, but I get that she's scared too and nervous.
We watched the tourney together. We knew even then that men trained up for battle are eager to fight. I know you do not have that desire within you.
Neither does she.
She said she saw in you a wish to avert the worst of what may now come.
Oh, I'm getting goosebumps.
So you've come to surrender then?
I have come to see if we may uncover some path towards peace.
There are no terms now.
She must know she didn't do any...
Your hands are bloody to no crime. I could never have imagined you...
The trespass was not mine. I am a mother too, and you have yet to answer for the murder of my son.
I repudiate that act with all my heart.
Oh my god, I'm so stressed. And there's her sister there. What if they see that it's her and that the Queen Dowager is talking to her? Oh gosh, this is so stressful.
That you will countenance the suffering and death of thousands in order that your feckless son...
Your father changed his mind.
And so your father has proclaimed to the realm.
Is she gonna tell her what he said?
Mere hours before I left him, he had affirmed my right, and yet you will maintain that his mind was changed in an instant. I will.
Please tell her what he said. I think she believes it though. I don't think she's lying. Maybe a bit of an opportunity, but still.
When was your plan first laid? Was your ambition so keen?
He changed his mind. Rhaenyra, he changed his mind.
I've never seen a more stressful conversation in my life.
To you, on the memory of my mother.
She truly does believe it. She would never say that either.
I pronounced before all gathered in that room that you would make a fine queen.
I think she can see it in her eyes now that she truly believed that that's what happened. That struck something in Rhaenyra, you can see that.
What did he say at the end? Did he speak my name?
Tell her the truth now, please. Please.
It's hard at times to understand, but he spoke Aegon's name. He said he was the prince that was promised to unite the realm.
What?
I desire peace.
Here we go.
My father used those words. The prince that was promised.
And only Rhaenyra knew what he had told her. Only Rhaenyra.
He spoke to you of the Song of Ice and Fire.
She's like, how did you...
It's a story he once told about Aegon the Conqueror.
Oh my god, if she's gonna realize now that she has misunderstood the whole thing, because I don't even know if she really wanted this. Oh. Although I think part of it was her being scared of Rhaenyra, what Rhaenyra might do. I don't think she truly believed that, but people kept telling her, so...
You must go before you are discovered.
There's been a mistake.
There's been no mistake. Please.
No, she doesn't want to believe it. Everything that's happened.
A terrible war is looming, and even victory may be so bloody as to be counted a loss. Do not let your pride blind you.
There's been no mistake.
I don't know, she seems like she's not sure, but she doesn't want to believe that she's made a mistake.
God is on the march, Aemon. You know what Aemon is?
She really said that.
It's too late, Rhaenyra.
Alicent.
I wonder if it's also because she doesn't believe that she can actually do something that makes a difference. Oh, I've got chills. So much happened in this scene. So much was said that has needed to be said, and now they both actually know the truth. Alicent doesn't want to admit to it, but I think she understood. I have been wanting them to have that conversation for so long. It's hard to know, seeing the scene just once, but obviously Rhaenyra now knows that what her dad said was not that he wanted Aegon on the throne. He spoke of the story that he told her, referring to the Conqueror, not to his son Aegon. I mean, we all knew that, and I think that, I'm not sure, and maybe it's pride, partially, but I think Alicent is genuinely scared of her sons, especially Aemond, but both of them. And she knows that she has no control whatsoever over her sons at this moment. So no matter what she says, it's not gonna work. It is too late. Not too late to convince her, potentially, but to do anything about them. I do believe they would have had a bigger chance of doing something if Rhaenyra would have read that letter and talked to her earlier. But the loss of her son prevented that. And I think that I'm not sure that Alicent is fully sure that that is what Viserys meant, that he wasn't referring to her son. And I don't even think that she was fully sure back then. I think part of her maybe wanted that, and part of her was scared of what would happen if they were not sitting on the throne, and then part of her maybe believed it. But I think that her fears might have been what convinced her of what Viserys said. To now find out that she might have been completely wrong, knowing everything that has happened. For her, it probably feels like what happened to her daughter, for example, with her son dying, because that seems like it's the way she sees it. She fears for Helaena more than she feared for Jaehaerys dying, like the after effects of for Helaena. And just even like Lucerys, she obviously didn't want that to happen, and I think that admitting that she might be wrong, it would put so much on her shoulders. Like, she is already living a very difficult life, and I know a lot of people don't really like Alicent, and I can see why partially, but she's also been put in impossible situation after impossible situation with no one to trust around her and no one to actually consult in whatsoever. And with her choices, like her talking about what Viserys said and all that stuff, and her trying to put trust in people, and that sort of being betrayed even by her own father and her sons and her family, I think that admitting to the fact that she might have been wrong about Aegon sitting the throne would put a lot on her. I think admitting that would be hard, but it looked like something in her eyes told me that she realized that she might have made a mistake. She might not be convinced, and she might never admit it, but it looked to me, it looked like she realized that this might not have been what Viserys wanted, and here we are. And I do not believe she wants war, and I do believe that she wants to listen to Rhaenyra, but at this point her fears are just too big to do so. That was one of the best scenes so far. I really liked it. I liked how they met up, where they prayed together when they were younger, because it just made the scene so much more powerful. And I wonder if this is going to put any thoughts into Alicent's head about what to do in the future. It is definitely going to affect her, but the question I suppose is in what way. And now we have the war looming, Rhaenyra sending her children away together with, I think is it Baela? Yeah, I think it's with Baela, and then I think Rhaena is staying behind. That is gonna be so difficult for her, and she's put like the biggest responsibility in the realm on her. That must be so difficult, like leaving your home behind. She did grow up in the Free Cities, so I guess in a sense it's to turn back home, but she also goes and turns back to where her mum died, which must be very difficult. And she's accompanied with baby dragons, eggs, and children. It must be the most difficult thing you could ever do. I am so nervous for her. And then we have all the people, like no one is listening to anyone. All the councils are arguing. They're not respecting each other. They're not respecting their rulers, and things are just falling to pieces bit by bit. And then we have the armies both marching for, well, Daemon and then another army both going for Harrenhal. Daemon is there, but he's only got his dragon. It's a lot. A dragon is a lot, but a dragon against a dragon, then it's not a lot anymore. And Daemon doesn't have an army to defend Harrenhal. So how is that going to work out? And then also both of them trying to get the armies that were in that part, and then the armies have already wiped each other out. Things are getting more and more difficult and so exciting. And the moment with Helaena and Alicent, the fact that she said, "I forgive you," it could mean several things. It might be that she forgives her for what she saw the night she entered her mum's room. It could be for how they grew up or the choices that she has made. And it could also be for what she said, because Alicent openly admitted to Helaena that, of course, she loved Jaehaerys, but she fears more for Helaena in general. And that could also be it. I'm curious to know what all of you think that she forgave her for. Maybe it was just all of it. But Helaena, like, oh, and you could see how emotional it made Alicent as well, the fact that she said that. But Helena's just always like the bigger person. I love her so much. I don't want anything to happen to Helaena, and I'm terrified something's gonna happen to her because she doesn't deserve it. That's gonna break my heart. Holy heck. Amazing episode. It wasn't like a super quick phase one, but you can see how things are building up little by little. And I'm terrified for what's gonna happen in the next episode. That was so good. I do hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, it would mean a lot if you gave it a thumbs up. Of course, comment down below your thoughts, feeling once watching it the first time, the third time, or the 58th time. I don't know how many times you've had time to watch this episode. Or when you watched it with me, maybe I missed some details that you picked up on, maybe you thought something else, or maybe you just have some fun facts for me. Or maybe you just want to say hi. No, feel free to leave the comments down below. And of course, subscribe for upcoming videos. I appreciate you all so much, and I hope that you'll have an amazing rest of your day, night, morning, midnight snack, breakfast, whichever time it is for you when you're watching this, and I'll see you very soon. Bye!